Cocoa is not only one of the key ingredients of our world-renowned chocolate products. It is central to the livelihoods of an estimated 800,000 cocoa farmers in our local supply chain and contributes over 3 billion cedis to our GDP. Yet many farmers live in poverty, suffering a lack of access to finance, healthcare and infrastructure, as well as the prevailing issue of child labor. Women in this sector are further marginalized by lack of access to land and unfair compensation for their labor. There is an urgent need both to scale up due diligence efforts across the cocoa supply chain and ensure efforts from all stakeholders are aligned in curtailing the abuse of laws and infringement of rights in cocoa growing communities. This is a key objective of the Fair for All project, and this documentary seeks to highlight the impact of that collaboration through the stories of the farmers within the project districts.
The impact of the Fair for All project has been particularly in the form of building human rights awareness, especially among the women in the cocoa sector, about their rights that are being abused and what are the mechanisms that they can use to address those rights and make sure that they can get better returns from their labor in the cocoa sector.
The Fair for All project is a good project. It's giving the farmers the education on their human rights issues of us to have in terms of human rights issues, and then land rights to the land, rights to marriage and all that. We've taken through. And we are giving the farmers the opportunity to be able to express themselves.
Ekrom ha ye wono asase do donara ewo ahemfo no enti se wokɔgye asase no a ɔhen no betena se ana asase do ne no betena se aka ho asɛm a pole ba ko bia no ɔbɛgye 400 Ghana cedis eni se 10 poles ana se 10 acres na wodo a ɛsɛ wo so betua 4,000 no wi ɔno ayɛ hyehyɛye se kokoo no eyeyi a ɔno wo kyem mienu ɔno ne de fa so wo de fa afro so aduane abeba ne ade nyare so ɔgye ne kyɛfa aduane na wo di usika bɔ pa ma ya do afuo no ahye wa bra aduane ɔbɛgye ne kyɛfa enti ne nyina mu no so wo dua kokoo no na se nyame yad no kokoo ne ba na se wo de kɔ insaniye so na de se wo saka no sa anka aya na emu ɔwirom papa
wo ɔbanti wo ko obi kyekura senia ka be ma kwa obesi agi na fa no oba de obu wani tia wasa de so ne ye me ya ewo sa akofo ka oba de nkwa wa ho de se nka otumi ye kofu na me se ye oba ne ti ye bu ye tia
anti me ye oba mi a me pese me nya masase na me dua me koko
enkanka me ma ne enuanom ma no ubo so no ko age asase no na waye owu a na de problem ne ade ne chemu ne ade
busua asase so de uyi a nsem bebre ne wo ho ebi se bia me kunu ye busua asase a nchichemu na ebeba no ebi wo ho a me nya bi kura
se de ni oba na kan oba na dwuma ye no ntisa be ma nti so oba akwaja asase da ikukuru na de man se asase ni wurade ba ma no nti se bia o ku bi ka no ho de a ende okwala nche no de ma no.
If they will work in the farming land, they should force them to make it a bunu or a busa. For that, they are part of the portion.
So that the woman has control over everything, taking decisions, how financing comes in, how it goes out. That is solely for the woman, and then the man runs the other part of it.
In the cocoa sector, we have a situation where women laborers, compared to men, they are paid less. Women are paid less for doing the same type of work as men are paid. That's against the laws of Ghana. Everybody should be paid the same wages.
As I said, no one to me, and your human interior, your farm money member, my boy, one banswan, Akutiano, your mouth will be a pepe, your peso BCC because the moment I obviously will be the next time of friend on your day.
Women in the cocoa sector also face discrimination when working with their husbands. Many expressed how they were left out of any profits made from the sale of cocoa, even though they contributed to its growth.
bɛrima no bi wɔ hɔ a wɔkɔ kɔtɔn kokoo na sika na ɛsɛ ɔno de mame no me nsanka te ɛyɛ anam bisa no sɛ kokoo no kora egu apa so no wasesa wo kɔtɔn yɛ na wan wɔse ɔno de mfa me ho
bɛrima no nya wɔsɛ me na me hwɛ fie nti ne sika no hye wɔ no nko ane botom wo kaka mposi akora bi wɔma ne bi mu afa nkɔ school kora na akɔyɛ ham enti ɛno baayɛ na yɛkɔ nkyerɛkyerɛ na ma obiara te ne ho ase sɛ wɔsɛ sika ne ba yɛkyekyɛm ne yɛhu de yɛde ebiara bɛyɛ.
Overall, farmers reiterated that the Fair for All project had brought a positive change in their mindset and allowed the women especially to understand their rights and address their concerns when partnering with their husbands on the cocoa farm.
Fair for All, project no. Mema be hu say my empowerment. They say a man do na say no munum say bia ni kunu kra ware na so ye cocoa kua na oka ho. Na dodo na anim ba sisi no ma be hu
abeboa ye wo ye ne ye kunu no mu afem otimiti ase se wose yasu ye tibi de boa enkwala no ekanko awa ablabom
Bainam Send Ghana any Fair for All program omude bad enchirawa wase ama ye kunu no mu so ahu se esisi omude sisi ani ni asa eye kwa wom sisi akese so na anko ya ye de bombe ko kira no mo so abemu nti no ama sisi aye mpatem ya ne de yensis mema ni nsisi ebiem
lawyer ni no so bai na ma me kura mi bisa caution say sese ya me ni mi kun na dua kokoo no enti ya me kun no ka che me say me nko minta ni ne nko adwuma ne de kokoo no me nka ho ama me bisa lawyer ni say enti me kun aye me ho ade a me tifia me ye business no ajapade no me nka ho ana ama lawyer ne ka che me say me ka ho ama mani je pa enti me ba fie na mani age.
Another challenge that farmers faced was the inadequate supply of cocoa farming inputs, such as fertilizers and other agrochemicals, by Cocoa Board.
Aban boa ye dro ni but enye ni nyina ene boa cause enom dodo na isi akromo ase ye inform cooperative by edro na eba no ensoye dro ni sha
ku adwuma ne de enye da biem esanse ye hia kwanhide bebre aban se ye ntete ekuo a etete no mikoko e takers me kwa ye ma medro bottle ko enso mi kura nkwale num mi kotua school fees asato dro asato petrol egu cocoa so.
The issue of chemicals and fertilizer affects the stocks of the farmer, because if the farmer doesn't get a fertilizer early to apply it before the rains and it comes late, the yields will not be enough for the farmer to earn enough to harvest enough cocoa beans to earn more money.
See a formal group no so omo de ba enso yen ti okotona bonten titru the new system so and so ehun na mai.
It is sometimes no be 1 liter no nimpa be 4 e na e be che 1 liter na che se ye bubu no tot te sa peteshi enso no emboa yen
enso emboa yen nti ye no mo asabi ye ni sika na ye nya adwuma foforo biya de taache no eno de ye ku adwuma de yempo yenke yemfre ye ho se ye kuafo
nti anka se wafu so se o man kese nso e ba o si ye nyina ehu ka na ye nya ne ya chen pepepe nti onna hori kakra na ha ye aye de no so no
anonom ne afese akatini ye ni je o ma kire se onkonfo dura ye tuto no mia ntobi nti o ma kire eduro poti a ye to a betumi aboa esi anonom ne akatini na ebeku wo mu enso eno no CMB no for na recommend ama sa cooperative ni nyina nti eno no ne ba ma nienya bi eba kitikiti sope
di chem no du ba bi kwa ibubu edu ba e ma ba ko ana mienu a na fe yatimi ahwiehwie agu adiem awere hokra.
At the same time so no o mama ye mass prayer for eno so no nye ye nyina ye fuom ena o mko edu o mo se eduro na sa ebi o mo se petrol ni ho na che se wo se wa na okoto petrol bi o kra eduro kra wonye bi
yese mass spray so mo bo ba ko mienu pe na fe eduro no a wo benya no ehode
mass spray mi ye bi na how de brand no eduro no ano odin ye kwa e ba ni enu nyina hihie ni na nye especially sa anu ma dure kura mpo no dom de aba no nye ti se paint nti di gu cocoa bia no wana ka ho nti e ma aba no kura ntumi e ma ho nti e be sere mo no mo nye pamle ni medura master nso ano odin medura mo de bara no odin no ji wodi bu akoko no so kura abo ne wu nso na nipa mo wonya yare
even kura nso po no besan so po afre wo mo se o mo nkogu so ma no mo cheche I say o mo ye no se politics so mo ye no dey o minim be ye easy say ubenya wo mo se bia o mo nkonkoye odwuma ma bla wo nso no ahoden no akofo
because ye nim say aban na de aba na ban de ba how say mo beton eduro na amaye anase mo beji eska ansana mo egukoko ni so amaye
maspray afi kura no mafum kura wonu nti se mankoto aduro a nti mata maspray na de nkaduro no anko nche man yakuafo no ne yankasa yengu na mo machine no yedi gukoko so no ne bo no e wo soro do ti anko nte so na kwani bia ntumi ntobi no fa yemfa yadwuma no me hu to no beboa yen tititru pa ne de aduro ne de ka wabonte se store pa de a kam fishen ka bema wo ma wo mo hwehwe bi ne de ka aboa yen yehu ba bi aduro no so wo
ekaka me nko amadwene de anka wo so odi duro ni nia store na eni eduro de be cheye no ye kura ye 40 cedi na nka ye de akoto ana 50 cedi ana 20 cedi na no yetimi ato sense wo so de yatiku enso eduro ni sua emwa kura makua side ne de me ye ngo ka ho me hu sango no me nya sika sin koko na me ye no
eni ama aban de brain no me hu ni se adenti na se so de sa ania ma ne brain no physical ne ma fama no no fa maintain na afu because ania ma no kra na ye ba omo divert most of ania ma ni bi they say fertilizer ni ade no intu be he no quantity e se fama ni nya no onya enti on fa sa ade ni ma enhye koku price ni ma farmers no omo abeto mu bibia
enduro no mo de ma medigu e koku so no so boni ame my experience e wo ho ne se nduro bi gu me ho na mo a ya ebi hyehye ti se lufu ene lambda ne ade etumi eti honam prekesen ne ade enti ye besre ti se okọ hospital ni na so iskasem enti se aban beboa bias ne mo mama bi ti se raincoat ene eniema equipment a betumi dia hyehye bra ye spray kokoko so a nka no so beboa ye pa
me pera ma prane se mpese mitwegu ma prane se mpese mitwa kokofuo ni gu kokofuo ni mboa me eka na mebo musum bia kire me to drogu so abaye dro a wose atitikuo nti wode maye no kakra bi ne enya ti mboa kra nti me de madwene mu nia se adasa afie ma nti mi kra ne next year no mi kokko afie ne enya du mfie du mienu no metwagu no medua na be.
Most farmers bemoaned the current price of cocoa, citing the high cost of labor and investment involved in cocoa farming.
Yeah, Ghana no, yeah, price no, low. Into no, na smugglers. It me eba or minum eba smuggler. And I say one better to cocoa at cheaper price no. Now we call them crew.
So nema boy day. And I ask no so I hold my no pay no so or to cocoa no and why. School fees here too. Na tembia ho ache tembia na ejina krache fo se mboye mbose nti aban no hwe en kakra na mboye
pese ne cocoa adwuma esidi din fa ubedua cocoa ansa na afi mfia miensa ene ne mfia miensa ne fandu no wudua na ewu da wudua na ewu enso nyame ye wado na se wuti cocoa no de kɔ hɔ ma jese kilo se wunya no wuntumi hu se ne scale no omaye no wudi si so a entoda afeso yenya ne ntie se e wo senka bonus bi ni ade bi ebebeba yenya mbo bi amfiri won nkyɛn yenya mbo bi a amfiri won nkyɛn
yeti koko no aso atofo no yedi kwa sikasem no edi e chance na skanaba
se abano to koko no high price e maya ana yensu ibenya sika na yensu yedi afa defo akan ho na omabo adwumadi na adwumadi na akoso yesre se ye pese nka abano betuma to koko no yi amaye na amaye su yeni aji
go se me kase me to me ba ko a e be du wi me ko no siskeni ho na ese me de ko we ho se yi na me wiska no wan fa ma wo de ko ma we na de abanti me koko de me ntoma nipa ba ko
kase na me to mi koko no ma se yi wo de koko no ba ko no se siskeni ho ansa ni skale be ba no kra na se okoye boni bi ne be chiwa ni ya chiwa tu daga o mu delay skala ti ya sha na hai na wo yenya fufure di ya ko she mu de o mu ni ya sa hwa mo de da personal cooperative first cocoa board for now cocoa na no moto na emfa asumdwe mra ye na saa mfa so bi bɛ sika le mantam.
In this say be abane brain fertilizer or brain pesticide and insecticide no. Me hu ne say na ma cocoa no price na nkoso no ye say saa ne ma ni nyina no obeti afi wo sika nim. But e dey say all this kind ma farmer no no anka say to me di adwuma no.
Titiriu omo muto e cocoa wo ha no. Cocoa ho bia wo de tin tomato chance ni susu e bia say unya 20 kilos and I say bia 60 kilos. Wo be kwa na 50 kilos. Yenim so mo de ntampe homa na dey cheese gain na ye tumi ntiase enti ho no de mo kan ye mayen na ye bre.
Because the farmer is desperate for money, whether the scale is adjusted or not, he doesn't care because he needs the money. So he go to a different company or a different district or purchasing clerk who has adjusted the scale. So the government should work on providing enough funds for the local business when the season starts.
Yeah, what we want our farmers to be able to do is that make sure that they plant more economic trees in their cocoa farms. If you look at agronomic practice, every 1 acre of cocoa of 435 trees should have about 6 economic trees scattered in it. These trees can in future grow and be sold. But the thing is that the trees also help the cocoa to grow well. What we do is that we all know environmentally friendly issues. If we have trees in our one, it checks the rainfall pattern. It also prevents sunshine hitting our direct cocoa. What we also do is that we also allow them to engage in additional livelihood. Plant more of plantain and then do vegetable farming in addition to their cocoa. Not to always be using pesticides. What we do is that we want them to do organic farming. When we do organic farming, it helps you, the cocoa farmer. What we said, organic farming is that they use a poultry manure, not to be using fertilizers to cultivate the vegetables that they eat. Because what we've also realized that the more you use fertilizer on the soils, it breaks the soil's components. And these are the things that causes more erosions and then also affect the soil profile.
My experience ewo ho ne se nduro bi gu me honam a ya ebi hyehye ti se lufu ene lambda ne ade etumi eti honam prekese ne ade enti ye besere ti se okọ hospital ni na so iskasem enti se aban beboa ba yesere mo mama bi ti se raincoat ene eniema equipment a ebetumi ja hyehye bra ye spray ekoko so a nka no so beboa ye pa my spray me ye bi na how the brain eduro no ano den ye kwae ba ne enimu nyina hyehye ne na nye especially sa anonuma aduro ekura mpo no dom de aba no nye it is a paint nti di gu kokoo bia no wana aka ho nti e ma aba no kora ntumi e ma ho nti e besere mo no mo nye pamle ni eduro master nso ano den eduro mo de ba no den nti udi gu kokoo no so kora abo ne hu nso na nipa mo wonya yare
first na Mr. Tiruna oha no na nye kese na kokoo no emu na de ni so afi yegusu ba ko pe babe ye she 20 ayi mu sente ayi ayi bai de se mbua papa ma se senye penifo adawruma anka ye kokoo no nye te se nkan no de na ye se de ha wom nduru no ayenya no yegu nso mbua no mo ha kokoo no so abe se na mbua na se bebre tinu ena fe mbua o mode bua e trainer e ko no se emu ntwae nkrampan na first no na pruni no na yenim na ni so se pruni na de no won abekire nti no afindi na ye ya ebua yen
eye tugro na omo edipegu ko so mayen kanena kayewo edro de no te se akati master confido and no di ko no so a tun se ekun pa ma tun se na ende edro na ondre ebegu so no ebi entumi ebi exercise na yebebo ombebo na ebe 1 week ube kona extra embo no entumi enkumo.
At a point in time, I quite remember there was one farmer who was using empty can as a drinking cup. Through the education, the farmers or the cooperative members went to the tapper a palm-on-top and advise him not to use that as an empty can because it contains poisonous substances. So if he continues using the empty chemical can as a cap, eventually it will go against his health.
Say you call cocoa nasina, you could book a ebi or a tall rubber, ebi or na you could a rubber bag near the court. Say you call first and near Gijato cocoa nasi. But say so you could see and much less say cocoa nasan you call a Robertson. My and ja and to us and say assassin and a drone so a double spray no. Na in a twan and say ye ja a goo. You say your pay baby, na ye do go. Da ya say assassin nti ono masua pa ma me di dwuma wo koko nase te me kosa me didi kura me janto koko nase me pe baby na me de hye efom te de masua no
Fair for all no the project a ye nyina ye ne gi ho e wo mantem ha because obi nsisi obi oba be adwuma na be ma be adwuma say wo maketua no eye pepepe project me the
sometimes you get in touch with some of these things, then you are like, wow, I picked the basis from this engagement I had with Fair for All and Send Ghana, and I say thank you so much to Send Ghana and then all partners in the project.
Fair for All and Kosumaye and it says yenya wo mo a nke yeso kra ye hu ye left and right nko mba da dan yo mba sisi en so ache ba yenya wo mo ni ye kasa ne tumi duru abanyenim.
Well, we want to acknowledge Oxfam, especially Oxfam Novib, for the Fair for All project and the many international partners that have enriched our staff knowledge and experiences to implement this project in a very integrated way to highlight and empower women to exercise their human rights to its fullest, which should translate into improved standard of living for women and children in the cocoa sector.